I'm going to show you guys how to make a ornament using mainly just paper. And I used a red scrapbook paper because I wanted it to look like a poinsettia, but you could really use any color you wanted. And this is the side, this is the front, and I already put a little hook on it, so it's ready. What you need is your paper. Now you can use any size paper you want, it's just that you need to have squares that are the exact same size all the way around. So instead of measuring, what I did is all I did was I took this and I folded it 4 times, and I'll show you what I did. So what I do is I carefully, and this is one of the most important steps, is you want to get your squares exactly the same. So I don't have to measure because I don't have a paper cutter. I'm taking, and I don't have a bone folder, so I'm just going to use the edge of the scissor handles and crease it. But make sure that it is lined up before you crease it, because after you crease it, you're going to be in trouble. Alright, and then I'm going to do it the opposite way. So what I'm going to end up with is 4 squares that are exactly the same size. Now, if you had a paper cutter or you want to make them smaller, you could just measure the squares out. It could be 5 by 5 by 5 by 5, whatever you wanted. Alright, so now that I have these lines, I'm just going to carefully cut along them so that I can have my squares. Each petal takes 1 square, so you're going to need 5. Okay? You start out with one of your squares, and what you want to do is you want to fold it into a triangle, basically. And make sure there's nothing sticky on your table. That one's a little sticky. I think that was breakfast time syrup. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm lining the points up so I have a triangle, okay? And once again, I'm making sure they're very even before I finish the fold. And I do it with my fingers first, and then I usually do it with this to make a nice straight crease. Okay, so now I have this one. Next, you're going to fold the ends up like this. So folding this one end, and I want to make sure that the point is on the point. And then I smooth it down, and I'm going to crease that one and crease the side. So see what I've done here? Now you have to do the exact same to the other side. So bring it up and match it carefully. And I'm just going to turn it so I can hold it and press it. Okay, so that was your triangle. You folded one side up, you folded the other side up. Ta-da! Awesome, huh? Alright, now what you want to do is you're going to want to bring this one up, and if you're working with scrapbook paper, sometimes you have to kind of make it bend where you want it to because it's not as thin. But what you want to do is you want to have it folded like this, flip it over, and you want this edge to line up with this edge at the bottom. So, I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it better. I'm going to move, and I'm just lining this edge up with that edge. And then I'm creasing it. So it looks like that. And I have to do the same thing with the other side. So I'm going to line the edges up and crease it. So now I have this shape. Now what I just creased, I'm going to open up. And see how it's opening up like that? And then press it down. Kite shape. Creasing it. Same thing with this side. Just kind of get your finger in there, pop it up. We have both of our kite sides here, as you can see. And what we're going to do next is you take this little point right here and fold it down so that the back of this lines up exactly with that. So a straight line, folding the point down, and making sure it creases. And do it. Same thing with this. Fold it down. And see how you can see the barcode? Don't worry about it. You won't be able to see it at the end. Alright, crease that. Okay. And now all I have to do is fold that little edge back over. Fold that one over. Fold that one over. Crease it again. And then you just kind of squeeze it together like this. So these two are going to come together. So it looks like that inside, on the side. So it's just basically you're not creasing, you're just bringing them together. So this part here is where you have to put some glue, right here. This works best if you have like a clothespin, so you can pin it after you're finished. I do not have a clothespin, so I'm just going to squeeze the Elmer's glue out, and you could use craft glue, you could use, I've seen people use little double-sided tape spots, and I'm just going to press it together right here. So if you don't want to hold it forever and you don't have a clothespin, just set something heavy on the edge of it, and make sure it's lined up though, and just set it like that. All of my petals, I have 5 of them. So what I'm going to do now is I have to put them all together. So I'm going to run the glue gun down the side and join them together right there. So you can see right there. So that's one side. Do the next one. Carefully line it up. That. Okay. The next side. Like that. And then you're left with the final petal. So I'm going to try to do both sides at once. So you might have to be a little quick because you don't want the glue to dry and harden. And then I just kind of, oops, push that one up a little more. Like that. And there you have it, a lovely flower. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to embellish it a little bit. So I have an eye hook here, which is basically just a piece of wire with a loop on the end. You could just do it yourself or buy it. And I picked a bead that I thought was nice, and I just slide it down to the end. I'm going to put a dot of hot glue here so that it doesn't fall back down. Let that dry for a sec. And then here, and I'm just going to insert it down into my flower. And there you have it. If you want to do a hook, you put a little hole here with a hole puncher. I don't have a hole puncher, so I have a tiny little X-Acto blade. Just going to poke a little hole here. I'm using a little jump ring, which is just a small wire ring that when you go sideways like this, it opens up. And I will slip it in. I'm going to put a Christmas hook on it, twist it, and there you go.